Yes, you lovely people, if you're not already, make sure you give us a follow over on Spotify.
If I was in Tesco's, bruv, my life, bruv, I like bourbon biscuits. I put it out there for the world. Somebody looked in my basket, was like, you shouldn't be eating them. I was like, oh my day. I was like, big man thing, yeah, I swear to you, I will back at you, cuz.
Hello everybody, I'm Ben Foster. This is the Fozcast. Today, Tom, we are joined by the beast, aren't we?
What? The beast, yeah.
Literally the beast. If you know your football, you know who we're talking about. We are talking about Adebayo, Akinfenwa.
Jeez, come on. Hey, I love the intro.
Pleasure.
I love the intro.
No, mate, honestly, we're so happy to have you. I've been trying to get you on here for absolutely ages, and I'm buzzing you could finally come down and make it, mate.
I'm here.
Two of the game's main players, haven't we?
Two of the oldest players, I know that for sure.
So before we start, I've got a question for both of you.
Go on.
Have you ever heard of the name Kazuyoshi Miura?
Yeah, he's 54, plays in the chat. I know about the brother, man. I rep the old boys. All the old boys in the game, I have the utmost respect. He's 54. I think he started his debut way back when, when it was like World War One and them things there, yeah. But nah, yeah, I know about him. He's 54. Plays, I think, in the Japanese league.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Right, boom.
So you guys,
so hold on a minute. If he's 54,
if he's
54, right? Say for example, he made his debut when he was 20. Yeah, that's 34 years ago. You're talking 1986, 1988.
You two are nippers.
Yeah.
Man, I'm 5 years old.
Bruv, I'm saying I'm free. Got a nice salute. Bruv, this is what I'm saying. This is why, like I'm saying, I know Ben Foster because when you start getting older, and this is where it is, and you 100% know, you start respecting because you know the outlay that you've got to put in for yourself. So then the man-dems that are doing it, and especially at the elite level, look, I didn't get to it and I'm cool with my career. So when I see Yarman, when I see Milner, when I see Ibra, when I see them, man, when I see, who's the Chelsea guy, centre-back?
Silva, Thiago Silva.
When I see them man there, like
he's a Rolls Royce, by the way.
You know, so for me, I pay nothing but homage to the man, the older man. So that's how I know. So salute to Mr. 54-year-old brother.
Mate, say his name again, quick.
Kazuyoshi Miura?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get slaughtered for that, but yeah.
That's 54. Imagine that, mate. He can't have had any. Either way, whether he hasn't had any injuries or what, that's ridiculous.
It's mad. It's for me. I don't mentally. It's mad. Like it's like every day or every year he wants to pre-season smoke. Are you mad? Oh,
hey, Bayo, talk to me about pre-season, right? Because I've watched some like videos of you this last few days, doing a bit of prep and all that kind of stuff. And there's one video where you were talking to Sky Sports, right? And they've said, so you're doing another year. This sees you to your 40th, blah 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 blah. And you were like, yeah, I know. I've just finished a pre-season session. It's brutal. It's absolutely horrible. And I could see in the back of your head, you're thinking, I don't know if I want this anymore.
Do you know the way I say this? I got to shout out my gaffer, Gareth Ainsworth, and that, because I wouldn't be playing till I was 40 if I wasn't with him.
Really, yeah.
100%. And I do feel like if managers, which I do think you're seeing more older folks in the game. Yeah. One, because I think the game's moved on. Two, I think people take care of themselves better. And three, I think man management's a little bit better in the sense where, you know, back in the day, managers, it didn't matter if you was 21 or 31, managers wanted you to do the same outlay as a 21-year-old, and it was just ridiculous. Whereas I think managers are now man management because they trust older players to kind of take care of themselves a little bit more. But yeah, man, listen, I don't do running at all. I don't run in games. If I played against you, I don't run in games. So when pre-season, I stay my arse on the bike, I stay my arse inside on the gym, and then the latter stages of the week, I kind of just stand in the middle and do keep ball. So that's where
it's working.
He allows me to do it. But listen, I always say this. Anybody that follows me knows I can't stand the bike, and I'm kicking it with the bike GK, but I can't stand the bike, but I do it daily because I know I need to do it. And my gaffer knows. He's like, look, B, I know what you're going to do if you're not out there on the training field, because at the end of the day, bruv, when you go out there, bruv, it's you that has to try and track back. It's you that has to. So if you say you did it, you didn't. Bruv, there's no hiding place on the football pitch.
Yeah, it's true, mate. Like I've seen you in a game as well, mate. Like you like you said, that you don't necessarily run the most or whatever, but I tell you what he is though, mate. What a leader, honestly. I said this to you in a pod. I did a Sky podcast with you, didn't I, ages ago? And I remember playing the game, right? He didn't shut up the whole game long, but it was nothing like. It was never ever like what are you doing? Or having a go at people or getting after people in a bad way. It was all just pure, lads. You can hear his voice like all the way around the stadium.
You played each other, didn't you? And you had you had a blinder against you, to be fair, didn't you? But you were bullied.
Animal, mate.
Didn't you? Wow.
Mate, you're an animal.
Do you know what it is? And again, you may be testament, or you may have always been this way. Of course, we've done interviews before. And I do think as you get older, you really hone us in on your comfortability, what you're good at. I joke about it, but I don't think I'm going to beat anybody in a race. And I'm so okay with that. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat somebody with a step over. I'm okay with that. Nice. But what I back myself on is, my strength is my strength. And that's what I do. So I will put myself about as much as possible. And then also I know that, but on a football pitch, I pick football because it's a team dynamic, and I know I can't do much without my players. So where I can use my leadership skills, that's where it is. So on that game, especially it was my first champ game, and it was Watford because I was at Watford as a kid. So I was like, yeah, man, I'm coming with the smoke. I want the smoke. I want the smoke. It was for me. It was a beautiful thing. It was our first point that we got as well, and Watford were the big dogs just come down from the Prem and that. So for myself, it was a nice thing for me to go out there. And I mean, I think we drew the game 1-1.
Yeah. Do you know? Yeah, we drew. You scored a header late on. Do you know how we prepped for that game against you? Right. So obviously, when you're playing against Wickham, you know you got the big dog up front, and he you can't battle with Akinfenwa. You can't battle with him because he's just going to hold you off. He'll pin you. So we made a point of saying, right, lads, if the ball's coming into his chest, don't try and nick it off him. Don't try and nip in front of him. Back off, yeah? Don't let him hold you and pin you, because once he can feel you, you're done, mate. He'll roll you. He's doing you. And literally, we said, don't do that. We spent all game doing that. Honestly, we spent all game doing that. And I'm just seeing him smiling every time thinking, this is incredible, mate.
I swear to you, I won't lie to you. It's that if I can feel you, then that's my world. I've got like a radius, like a circle. Yeah. Where if you come in that
fly zone.
Guys, I'm very excited when I can feel you. So when it was that, and of course, like anything, when it happens and it's working, like there's times when you're having a shit touch and that, and but when it comes, it sticks. You're like, stay there. You're like, oh shit, keep doing it. And then it's an ego thing, innit? Because they're thinking, oh no, man, I can't allow this. Let me show my strength. And it's literally, so you go in, and it was good. It was good for me. It was that, because it was my first champ game, and you want to test yourself up against the best. You know what I'm saying? And Watford was that, coming down from the Prem and that. So on an individual note, it was cool. And we got, like we said, we scored late on, and he was on job. He was on
He did. He had a good game. He had a good game.
I really thought, I remember I missed the fucking sitter. Like, I put it over the bar because I was so excited. It got cut back to me. I was like, oh shit, I'm going to get my first game, I put it over the bar. I was like, oh snap.
They scored late on as well. Yeah, like I came for a cross, got nowhere near it, right? Acted like I got fouled, and thankfully, like ball in the back of the net, it was awful. Like, I was thinking, oh my God, thank God for that.
Stewart scored that.
I know, mate. We'd have lost, because that was last kick of the game as well. Yeah. But going back to what you said a minute ago, right, with just being comfortable in what you are, knowing what you are, and then operating between those two sort of like limits, basically, right? That for me is that when everybody says to me, what's the best bit of advice you can give to young kids nowadays, or the best bit of advice I could have given to myself back in the day, is know your limitations and know your capabilities. And then once you operate inside that, boom, you're in control of everything, isn't it?
It's like anything, isn't it? Yeah. Like you look at remember that book I read, Matthew Syed, Bounce, and he's like 10,000 hours of practice or something, you'll be world class.
You know what you're doing.
That's the principle. But he's saying, like, what he's saying was, if you're strong as an ox and you're maybe not as quick, why would you work on being quicker? Make what you're good at world class.
I'm so off of that ream. And even like, let's expand that. I think that in today's society, I think being included is a hell of a drug. It is. You want to be included. Yeah. You want to. So when then you start walking into a room thinking, oh, brother, how are they going to perceive me? Like, so then for me, it's an impress mentality. Oh, how's this dude? How can I impress this dude? Whereas when you shift your mindset, it's like, bruv, I can only do my best. And literally, as you start getting older, and you like, but look at I did my best. If I come up short, I come up short, but I did my best. And that's the ream. So, bruv, I was off the ilk when I remember it used to gripe me when they used to say he's got a good touch for a big fella, or he's got this for a big, and I used to get so pissed. And I was like, but I'm a baller, big or small, I got a good, but you know how much energy is wasted when you start taking it from yourself and putting it. So I'm thinking, oh, Rod, I want these boys to feel like I'm intelligent. So I'm putting my energy into trying to impress you, rather than I'm like, yo, brother, if I start pulling myself into my own energy, I'm good. Yeah. And I think that's the same. That's the advice where I tell my son, I tell the next breed, I'm like, look, all the time, I'm like, look, if you're the quickest, if you're quick, show them that you're the quickest. But don't show them, like, we had a player, Uche Ikpeazu.
Yeah.
So, and for me, he is as strong as an ox. Not as strong as me. He likes to think he is. He ain't. But say nothing. Like, and the worst thing is, I'm not trying to diminish his other attributes at all. I think, but he's got in his head that, you know, he wants to be perceived as, oh yeah, listen, I'm a baller. I can be like Ronaldo, or I can do so. Whereas I'm like, there is no defender that is as strong as you. I beg. Pin them, spin them, and go score your goals.
Simple,
and you'll go, literally, you simplify it. And I'm bringing him out, so when he says that, because I've spoke to him like that. But I say that to youngsters, if you're the quickest, bruv, your first protocol is kick that ball and run. Show everybody how quick you are. Like, bruv, why are you hiding that? Why y'all trying to do? That's for me. Find out what you're really good at, focus on it, and be cool and be comfortable in your own skin. Advice for every walk of life.
Mate.
For
life, isn't it?
For life. Do it your way. Ain't nobody can be you.
That comes with age, doesn't it?
It does.
It does come
That's
with
the
age.
biggest thing.
We've spoken about, it's
a shame that does come with age.
Yes.
It's such a shame, isn't it? Because if
it
we know
with...
what we know now, back then, mate.
Hindsight's a beautiful thing.
It is, though, because you look at, like you say, like everyday life, and like, don't get me wrong, you're the same as me. You don't ever try and upset anyone, but if you go in there and someone's not having you,
that's usually their problem, you know.
Yeah, it's usually someone else's problem, isn't it?
I promise you, I'm with you on that. I feel like I've come to terms again with age. Is look, in life, not everybody is going to vibe with you. Not everybody is going to resonate on your same energy or the energy you put out, and that's fine. Like literally, but if I don't click with you, but bless.
The end of the world.
Do your thing. I'll go and do my thing. And it comes with age. So when you can drum it in as early as, listen, be cool with you, man. Like, your sauce is your sauce. Be cool with that. Once you clock that, I'm telling you, you're away.
Man, you need to like do motivational talks and stuff like that. People, I'm not even joking. People need to know this kind of stuff for life. I ain't even talking about football here. Yeah. I'm talking about for life. Like, people learn to be comfortable in their own skin. You can smash it.
Do you know what? And people are telling me this in the sense, not motivational, is what's my mindset with how I deal with football. And I always feel we know. Football and everything has an expiry date, even our lives. Yeah. We know this. But especially football. Football's got an expiry date. So my mentality is not for football. My mentality is for life. And anything I do, I'll put my life mentality into what it is. And that's ultimately what you've got to do. I think I always say I play football. Of course, we identify as footballers, but I play football because I know football's going to finish. So when football finishes, if I say, you know, my identification is a footballer. When football is finishing, so what's my identity? And I think that's what footballers struggle with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, big problem.
Plus, because I think football's institutionalized. I think it is. There's only things that I don't care what anybody says, only me and you would understand. Yeah. Because we've been in the changing room. Because we know that. But I'll chat to my man-nems who are different, and I'll say, you know what, my man said this. They was like, well, you didn't punch up his head. I was like, nah, listen, bruv, it's football. And when you try and explain the football culture, wrong, right, or indifferent, it's a footballer culture. And that's why I say it's institutionalized. Because when you come out into what they say the real world is, people
it don't fly so much, it don't fly like that anymore.
It literally doesn't. It's like we are in a bubble. Yeah. So for me, if you understand it, when you come out of it, you kind of can maneuver it a little bit more better, and if you don't, that's where they'll struggle. I think people don't like when you're part of a team and you're close knit and stuff like that. Like, you can see it with the Wickham team. Like, you can see they're a close knit little group, a little unit. So what goes on in the change room is behind closed doors. As long as it ain't nothing stupid and over the top and blatantly just ridiculous, like, mate, it just flies. It is what it is. Man. It just goes on.
You're the skipper of the changing room, aren't you? Don't you run things here?
Oh, we have generals. So there's 5 of us that are generals. Old Bloomsy has now gone up to the staff, so maybe 4 of us. So Gaffer's had this general culture where, listen, he's our commander-in-chief, but like anything, when managers roll in, it's like, oh, shit, the Gaffer's here. So no matter how you want to kick it, you're still the Gaffer. So he has the generals, and man, we control it off of his realm. And I think, and that's why Gareth Ainsworth for me is a manager that stands out above every other manager because I think it's a strength to be able to relinquish strength or authority and give it to other folks and say, listen, I'm comfortable again in my skin that I can delegate for my generals
that's the word, delegate,
to run this. Nice. And for me, that's what he's done. He's like, yo, look, he'll have his generals say, listen, this is what I respect. This is, so he don't get involved. And if it comes to him, he's like, listen, if you lot can't deal with it and it comes to me, bruv, my decision's final. It never has to come to him because we shut the shit down. Like, whoa. And that's, but for me, there's always, in every team, there's for me, I'd say an experienced heads. And I think that's what it comes down to because experience, no matter how talented a youngster is, experience is experience. And I think at every changing room and at Wickham, same we had it at AFC Wimbledon as well, but at Wickham, like we literally have had the generals and the generals are, look, this is what it is. And reason why I think it's wicked because I'm always late. And I know this. I'm always late. So because we've got 4 generals, out of them 4 generals, we have Matt Bloomfield was the ultimate professional. Yeah. So it connects with all the different players. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? The ultimate professional ones.
You can see it from a different angle.
From a different angle. So I can connect. So say the man them from London comes in on loan, a young brother, I'll be able to connect with him on that. And sometimes it's like, yo, do as I say and not as I do because I'm already late. So don't do what, but I'm 38. So I've actually earned being late, even though it's not right.
And you'll come in the building and bring the energy as well, though.
So it's
and
a balance.
All of that.
Yeah, so for me, and that's the beautiful thing we had with our generals was that there was 5 generals and we were all different characters. But as a connection, as a collective, it was powerful. And I think that was a massive part of our success.
Do you still do? I remember, like I say, the podcast we did where you said if any of the lads come in with any gear that's like really expensive or over the top.
I did this last week when we got price check. I price checked them. Are you mad? And it goes into a kitty. You can't, it was $350. Like you can't wear anything over $350. Okay. So we had
the whole outfit.
The whole outfit. Like it. Not the watches don't count. But hats count.
Individual item.
Individual item.
Yeah.
So like there we had Lewis Wing come in and that man come in like Yeezy crepe on or a Balmain tracksuit. Like, and the worst thing is because I'm not into designers. So I've got one of the young bucks that I'm saying, how much does this cost? And it don't matter how much you buy it for, it's how much it retails for. Yeah. So if it retails for £300, you're shit out of luck. You're going to pay £50 in a kitty and we'll look to give it to charity at the end.
Simple as that. 50 quid, bang.
£50. So but they now know because I'm not in on a Monday and Tuesday.
They wear
wear it on Monday and Tuesday, and then on Thursday and Friday they come in flip flops and just
any snitching girl.
They be telling me, B, but if I can't see it, so last week I said they man have to FaceTime me. So as long as I see it, man, I got them. But for me, it's part of. But and this is where the maddest thing is, even for myself, and that's how tight knit our squad is, because like we had one of the David Stockdale. Like, that's my guy. And he was going somewhere. He was going to an event after training. Oh. But he came in with flip-flops. So he had the event.
So the fine wouldn't apply?
So the fine wouldn't apply.
It's brilliant. What
and
a guy.
For me, I was like, oh, shit. And he just said it as a passing joke. But I remember driving home in my car thinking, I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, not even, it was just out of respect for the whole
That's what it is.
room.
That's what it is. The thing there, it's not about what the rule is, yeah? It's not necessarily about, like, it's a silly thing, isn't it? Yeah. It's a silly thing, but it's not about that. It's about the players respecting the rules, regardless of what the rule is. Yes. And that's the bit, like, in the Premier League, that stuff, we don't get away with that, honestly. The older heads, we try and impose stuff like that. They don't listen, mate. They're on 70, 80 grand a week, right? You're saying it's 50 quid fine. They're like, whatever, I'll pay it. Honestly, it's horrible, mate. I miss that, honestly. I miss that sort of stuff.
I've never had that experience. And I've never been able to go into a changing room where money doesn't matter. And it's not a bad thing to say.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But you know what I mean? I've always played in the lower league. Yeah. So, but I keep telling I banter with people, but name me one player in the lower league that's ever gone on strike. I'll tell you that, we can't, but we need our bonus. We just need our bonus to. So I've never had that mentality where,
you can just toss it off.
Here's £1,000 or here's £50. Like, so when I hear that, when I chat to your man and the man names that have gone and earned that, I'm like, raw. Because I've never had that. And if I went to a Prem club, I don't know how I'd react because I'd make the same rule.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what, I'm like, yo, listen, maybe I'll have to up. So maybe it won't be 350. Maybe it'll have to be a bag or something. Like maybe it'll have to be, but because I'm very much on that, I'm very much on a team togetherness that, look, man, it's one for all for one. I'm massive on that. I think that outweighs ability personally.
Mate, I love that.
So, but I don't know the flip because I haven't dealt with people who don't really have the qualms about it. Be like, well, flip it.
You mentioned David Stockdale there, right? So obviously we're buzzing to have you on here, and we've known for a few days that you're going to come on. So I text Stocky because we follow each other on Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So I sent him a little message, right? Stocky, I've got Adebayo on the podcast. Anything that I need to know about him, any little funny stories or anything like that, right? So this is what he's come back with, okay? He's put, Fozzy lad, ask him about the time I was following home and got the wrong car. I was going to fight him at one point. What on earth is that?
Oh, he's such an idiot.
What is that?
All right, cool. So
He was going to fight you.
no, this is what happened, right? So I went down, so I'm driving my car and I had my other car with me, which I wanted to drop off to get work done to him. So I was like, Stocks, can you drive my other car? So he was like, yeah, fine, B, cool. So he jumps in the other car and now he's following me. So this is it. He's following me. So we're driving for half an hour. So we're driving now back to my house. So we're on the motorway, come off the motorway, on the dual carriageway. So I turn into the far lane. So then another car comes behind me. So now he's the third car. Yeah. So it's nighttime. Yeah. So now I come into the middle lane, but he doesn't come into the middle lane. So I can see him. So in my head, I'm thinking, bruv, why is he not?
Why aren't you following me?
Why are you not following me? So anyway, so he's like, so I'm thinking, so the car he's following stays in the far lane. So he hasn't come into the lane I'm in.
Is he thinking you're
so
that
he
car
now
now
thinks I'm that car in front.
Nah.
So 2-2s, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, hey, wait, bruv, I beg. So now the car goes off to the left. He goes off to the left. So I'm in front. So I'm thinking, oh shit. Like, and maybe his phone was off because in my head I'm thinking, but this dude's gonna follow this dude, pull up alongside him and be like, yo, who the hell is B? So anyway, so the car comes, so I slow down. So the car's come off. He has come off with the car. So now I've had to cut the exit. So I pull up alongside him. And so I pull my window down and I goes, Stocks. So he double takes. So he's like this. B, what are you doing? So I'm looking at him, what the f***, what are you doing? He's like, what? B, I'm sorry. So he thought I was just some angry passenger to his right because he's focused on the car in front, thinking
you're
it's
alongside
me.
him, so that's why he's fuming.
It's like, what? So he's like, B. I was like, you're a donut, cuz. I don't know whether you would end up somewhere in London, they would have just took my car and your wallet as well, cuz. Yeah, but that's where it is. That's the Stockdale story.
David Stockdale, what a guy, by the way.
Yeah,
what a friggin'
legend.
What a legend of a bloke. I've got another one as well. He said, ask him about how he plays DCM in shape. What is that?
Oh, look, I'm begging my gaffer for like before I retire, he allows me to play number 4.
Shut up.
What?
Can you do a job there? Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I am a baller. I can't move, but I'm like Jan Moby. For young folks that know, I keep it ticking. So, like anything, you do shape and you gear up to who you're playing against. So, a lot of teams you play have got runners. So, I can't play up top. So, Gaffer's like, so you don't stand outside, be a 4. So, be the 4, and they're the ones that just keep it ticking.
Yeah.
So B, can you do it on the opposition side? So now every week, because of course I don't start, every week I'm a 4. And when I mean, bruv, I should get the tape. I'm a baller as a number 4. The only thing is, like, I do give my 10s a lot of confidence because they run off me all the time and they score just because I can't track them back. But other than that, when we break, oh Lord, I keep the game. I've been begging the gaffer. I'm like, Gaffer, I beg, let me come on as a 4 and just keep the game ticking. And he just keeps dismissing me. I was like, oh.
I need to see this, mate. I think there's something in it, you know.
I swear, look, I'm not even gassing. Like, the only thing is what I keep saying, like, we've got, like, Josh Gowan, who he needs to kind of always cover for me because the man always run off me. I ain't gonna lie. I know my limitations. But keeping the ball ticking, passing and following, one touch, I'm telling you, I give the first team some nightmares. They know and they can't really say nothing. And then sometimes because the goalie can kick it out and I can pin a man in the centre of the pitch, like, it's a problem. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. Listen, y'all gonna see before I retire, I'll come on as a 4 and I'll just keep it ticking.
So talking of retirement then, what are we saying?
You looked at your watch then. Why are you looking at your watch?
Yeah, I
then?
know. It's times.
Like, you're doing it now.
Oh, is it? Shit. An exclusive now. Now, mate, 7 games. 7 games. Hopefully 10 if we can make the playoffs.
So you go up. So you get to the playoffs.
Yep.
You win the final.
Yep.
You have a blinder. They
Yep.
say, "Here's one more year."
Nah.
In the Champo.
Nah.
Defo.
It's therefore, you know.
Really?
I swear to you, like, it was like, unless the only way is because I'm trying to think of like a player liaison. So if we get to the champ, maybe they'll just give me a job where it's a player liaison.
You want to be that guy?
Yeah, well, I'll come in the changing room, price check
sort
every
all the
now and
boys out.
again, make sure they're blessed and that. Then the man see me on a Saturday, only home games though, because I ain't trying to travel on the way and that. You know there was like,
Well, there's another option here. There's another option here because I've heard that #United have got a couple of spots for generals. For generals, Sebi and Spen are recruiting at the moment, and you two boys fit the bill, don't you?
This will be incredible. I'd love to see you play for a #.
I would love to see both of you
my
play
God.
You know the
because you
worst
lump
is-
it up top.
Oh, get
I
on the end
did.
of that.
I did promise Spence that I would play for
So is
them when
he.
I retire
So is
and
he.
that. So
That's what you're saying. You're going to give that a go, you reckon?
you know what? I'll have to have a discussion with Spence because I am a man of my word.
Yeah.
So that could be a
Short-term
a via-
contract, I reckon. Just turn out for a couple games. Like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
listen, I will ball for them, but what they'll understand is, and you'll know, bruv, when it's work time, it's work time. So
Yeah.
whatever we're going in, we're gonna win it.
Don't
So
worry,
# we're gonna win it. So
Number
there's
4.
no. Huh?
Number 4.
Oh, I don't know for them, but I'll do a 4 and 9.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
some games I will just, pin and spin, back post header, Dunkville, that never gets lost. And then I'll just sit in as a 4 and just let the runners run for me.
Yeah.
And that, you know
And
what
you're
I'm
having a
saying?
bit of as well, aren't you, Ben?
I'll give it a little go for sure. Yeah, like I say, it could be another 2 or 3 years for me or whatever. But like, sweet as not.
How long are
3
you looking
years?
to play on?
I want to do another couple of years, I think.
Okay.
This is what I want to ask you now, though, because I know I still want to keep going, right? I'm 39 next week, and I know I want to still keep going. Yeah, in my head, I enjoy it too much. I do. I just, like, the football's the easy part almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, the
yeah.
match day's the easy part. Like, I'm very lucky compared to you, where I haven't had too many injuries that have, like, held me back too much kind of thing. But what is it, like, what's made you, what in your head has gone, nah, I've had enough now?
You know what? The major thing for me is my knee, and it's the painkillers. Like I've got to a point where, see, I was pretty lucky. I had one bad injury when I was at Swansea, and that changed my whole game. So prior to that, like the Akinfenwa at Swansea was actually a runner.
How long ago was that?
07?
Yeah, man, we're talking about
yeah.
my daughter
15
wasn't
odd
born.
years
She's gonna
ago,
be
yeah.
15, so
Yeah.
16 odd years ago now, 15, 16 years ago. So the Akinfenwa before broken leg was actually a runner, not like I could go over the top, and I wasn't as top heavy as I was. Then I broke my leg, and then just fell in love with the gym, and then of course I had to adapt my game. So all of a sudden I put on size, and then just
Became a different player.
yeah, became a bit different player in that. But then even that was cool. You know what I'm saying? I adapted my game to
Is what
that.
it is.
But then the last 2 years, the knee just started to, and it was wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? I'm bone on bone now on my right knee.
Really, cartilage gone, yeah.
Cartilage gone, so I'm bone on bone. So for training, I'm painkillers, and then if I start on a match day, I double up doses.
Oh, wow,
so it's got to that stage where
How long you been doing that now for then?
since the champ,
Really,
since
yeah.
the champ, so we're talking about going on 18 months maybe.
Wow, okay, a couple of years,
So
yeah.
a couple of years now, it's just got to that point. Whereas, so when you say the football side of it is easy, and that's I'm not disrespecting. I could do the same thing I'm doing now to I'm 45. I don't run in the sense where it's my game intelligence is my game intelligence. It gets better because you know your limitations. And I can pin and spin, and I can still win flicks because I don't jump, and I can dunk on the back post. So I can do that if I needed to do that. But I've always thought my greatest strength was my mind wanted to continue on.
Yeah.
And I think it's just now my mind's got to where my body is into a point where I'm like, and you know, another reason is I was very much up until maybe last season, I played every game. So my mindset was, you've got to get game ready.
Yeah.
So it literally didn't matter what happened during the week, game day, you're game ready.
Yeah.
Now, the back end of last season, when I got injured, and then this season, when of course I don't play as much, that mindset now, the responsibility doesn't fall on my shoulders. So I'm a person I'm all or nothing. So you give me the responsibility, I don't want to let any of my teammates down.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm not a starter and it's 10 minutes here and it's 5 minutes here. I'm like, the outlay now, my mindset shifted. So I don't have to be that, yo, it's on me. So, and I think because of that, timing, it's just got to a point where I'm like,
as well, if you've got to take painkillers for training and then you're only getting 10 minutes on a Saturday,
that's what,
mate, that kills you.
And that's the thing, and the worst thing, and this is why I say I love my gaffer, because I had a conversation with him and I was like, Gaffer, you know what it is. I have to prepare like I'm going to play 90 minutes. If the man goes down, I've got to prepare. So when I'm preparing for that degree and it's 10 minutes, I was like, Gaffer. So he was like, B, listen, I understand. I totally understand. I won't ever, he's never been that. He's never ever pressured me like that anyway. So it was that. And it was like, Gaff, cool. If you're not gonna, you're not going. And then it was a point where he was like, look, B, don't travel. Don't travel to away games, overnight games. Don't travel, because I get it, what you're putting into your body and where you are now. And I was like, listen, Gaff, I respect that wholeheartedly. So when he does give me the 10, 15 minutes, and I think because my mind it knows that now, when it's a 10, 15 minutes, I'm like, I say, Gaff, I need 20, so it takes me 15 minutes to get warm. But anyway, like, you don't want to listen to them ones. It only gives me 10 minutes, but it's cool. But yeah, so that's where it is. It's that shift. But you will know. You will know. Like, I enjoy enjoy is the wrong word, but I'm a creature of habit. So I'll get up and I'll do the bike before training. Like every day I'll do the bike before training, before I go on training. So that part of it is routine. I like the beat in my mind. I like my body doesn't want to do it, but I'm like, yo, we're going to have to do it. And I love that. That's the bit I love for it. And the football side of it is, it doesn't get in the way, but I just know that now that's secondary to life. And that was the switch. That was the switch. I was like, look, you know what? I'm done at the end of the season. Like, I want to go out with a bang. I want to go out with a fairy tale. And if we can, it'll be a beautiful thing. If not, then listen, it's been a great career for me.
Mate, it's such a nice way of doing it. That if you, like, at the start of your football career, if you can say, this is how it's going to go for me, I'm going to play for frigging 20 odd years, more maybe, and then I'll know when I know. And it's on my terms. How good is that?
Yeah, do you know what? You know, I don't know, you may be the same. You know, you say it to yourself, like, you know what, man, I want to go at this game on my terms. Yeah. But because I played in the lower leagues, I never thought it would actually be that way. You know what I'm saying? I'd always be like, well, I'm going to have to play until I can't get a contract no more.
A lot of players drop, and then they'll drop a league, and then they'll go non-league, and then they have to get a job to supplement it. And at which point you have to go, so the football doesn't matter no more. So I always said it to myself, like, oh man, I'm going to go out on my terms. So I'd love to go out on my terms. So to be able to do that, to be able to say, right, you know what, B? Oh, all right, man, you're 40, man. Like, you can go out. That was, for me, the beautifulest thing at this point, where I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm limping, but it's not like there's a duty of care after football. You know what I'm saying? Which comes into play, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I can walk away from the game on my terms, the way I wanted to. That is the most pride thing that I've been able to take out of this. Be like, yeah, man, listen, I can say goodbye to the game.
Incredible. You know what, the thing I like about it, though, Bayo, is you've said before, like, obviously because you never earned the astronomical Premier League money, you've had to be smart, haven't you? And you've had to think about post-career. And like Ben said, that you'll get players dropping down. You were doing YouTube years ago.
Yeah.
And you've been looking at media opportunities. And I was watching, obviously, a lot of what you do this week, and you're saying, like, I'll try everything. I might not be good at all of it. I'll try it all. So
Bayo's the most well-known Football League player in the country.
By a mile.
Probably in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When it comes to Football League, for sure. Like, that's impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you've got a lot of opportunities, haven't you? Because you've built that up over the years.
Yeah, I'll always say that it still blows my mind to how much I'm known. I won't even gas, and this is not me just saying it to try and be humble. So when I go into a place, like I did something with Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and for me, he's a legend to me, and I'm like, yo, man, the elite bad boy striker. But the kids didn't have a clue who he was. I was like, yo, you don't know. They would bypass him and take a picture of him, man. I was like, what? Yo, man, don't know.
It's Jimmy.
Like, it's Jimmy out here.
He was strong as well, wasn't he?
He was a beast, man.
He was a beast,
Same. I did something with Jamie Redknapp the other day. So he was hosting, and then he came out, they clapped him, like, you know, and then they said my name. The thing went mad. I was like, yo, this is Jamie Redknapp. Don't you like know, bruv? He's on League of Their Own and everything. But yeah, it's mind-boggling to me in the sense of how much I am known out there. And listen, I'm blessed. But at the same time, I won't ever get the game twisted. I'm still a brother that was raised in Dawston. That shit will never change for me. But at the same time, yeah, at the age of 30, I knew, listen, when you retire, and at that time I maybe thought it was 34, 35, because that's what it was, you're going to have to work, period. I'm still going to have to work now. And then literally the whole YouTube coming, the whole social media. And for anybody that knows me now, and it'll be hard for people to understand this because I'm on social media and I'm an active user. When I was younger, nobody knew what I did. Like, I had an alias account. Everybody in London didn't know I'd played football because I played football for Torquay, Swansea. Yeah. So I'd come back on the weekend and I ain't gonna lie, people thought I was a drug dealer. I had a nice car and they didn't know what I did because social media wasn't as apparent. Yeah. And if you wasn't playing in the Premier League, nobody really watched the Football League or knew, you know, so I was very much private because I think the stereotype of a footballer, I was just like, back in the day, I was like, listen, I do my own thing in it. Like, and then of course social media came in. So initially, because my brother was into the entertainment business. He was a singer. So he had all of that. And then he was like, yo, B, bruv, you need to jump on social media. Yeah. Like, this is going to bang. So he's the one who started my Twitter, started my Instagram. And then, of course, you've seen it now. You just was like, yo, this is the next wave. Yeah. But the biggest thing for me, and I'll say this, I went broke when I broke my leg for Swansea. And Swansea offered me another year, which when you look back at it now, getting another year when you've broken your leg, you would snap it off. Yeah. And at the time, this was me, I was chasing the money. Gillingham came in and said, we'll double your money. I was like, oh yeah, say less, innit? So then I went to Swansea. Listen, I don't want to have to leave, but if you're not going to match the offer,
it's no brainer.
Then I'm going to bounce. Yeah. But stupid thing for me, I wasn't coming, I broke my leg in February. The season finished in May, then the contract got taken away or offered to me in June, so I still wasn't fit. I wasn't going to be fit again until like October, November times. Yeah. So I was like, nah, cool, man. I'm just going to go with Gillingham, thank you, but no thank you. And I went with Gills, and I went to Gillingham, and then the manager was like, yo, wait, you ain't going to be back for the beginning of the season? I was like, nah, man, I broke my leg. It was like, I thought it was a 6 months. I was like, nah, it was more 9 months.
Oh, yeah, bad one.
He was like, yeah, it was a bad one. And then he was like, boy, by the time you come back, I could be sacked. To be fair, he actually was sacked by the time I got back. But that's how he was thinking. So he was like, well, I got to go get me a striker that can play for me now. So I was like, what the fuck? I just turned down the contract. So then I was scrambling.
So they took it away then?
The contract gone? Yeah, Gillingham contract went.
That's brutal.
I went to Swindon and then failed the medical, which I knew I did. Course, so then I was at a period of 4.5 months when I wasn't earning.
Wasn't playing either?
Wasn't playing. I wasn't affiliated to no club. I did my rehab sporadically. So I was going to Lily Shaw for doing rehab. And everyone I'd built up a name when I was at Swansea. So everybody was like, look, as soon as you play your first pre-season game, as soon as you play your first reserve team game, look, we'll sign you. But until we know you can do that, we won't. So now I'm going to do rehab at Gillingham. I went to go do rehab at Swindon. I went to do rehab anywhere that could have me. I was just trying to work with the physios. And then luckily I did it at Yeovil for a period. So I was going to sign for Yeovil. And then Kenny Jackett, who was my Swansea manager, went to Millwall. They said, look, B, I need a striker that I know. I was like, yeah, but Gaffer, know that I've been out for 9 months. Because, nah, it's cool. I just need a striker that I know in there. But first day, he had put me in the squad. I was like, Gaffer, what the hell? But, boy, I had to take the money. You know what I'm saying? But I remember for 4 months, I'd burnt through my savings after 2 months. I remember I had to go get a loan.
Scary.
So it was, and it's the maddest thing is because at that point, at that moment in time, it was, oh shit, bruv, I'm paycheck to paycheck. And you don't really think like that because you think, at the time I was 25, 26. So you're like, well, shit, I've got 10 years in the game. You know, and that's your mindset.
And you're used to it just coming in every month.
And you're used to it coming in.
Every month, relentlessly.
Well, it's cool, man. You don't spend all your money, but it's just coming in. You don't really watch. And that was the biggest, I'll tell you, it was the biggest eye-opener that for me was having to get a loan, was to pay the bill. And then even when I signed the contract was just for my current bills. So all the bills that the debt I accumulated was still there. Yeah. So I went through a period of, nah, man, I got to get my affairs in order. So of course at 30, it was like, nah, man, I got to start knowing what I'm going to do when I retire. So listen, you're a product of your experience. I always tell this to people. Yeah. And my experience of what I went through it shaped me to who I am now.
So what is next then, Bayo? What's next for you, big dog?
You know what?
End of season, retirement, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. I think like the first little thing I'm going to do, I'm going to say this, but I bet it don't happen. I want to take like 3 weeks off.
Yeah.
3 weeks off.
Got the big 40th coming up, haven't you?
Yeah, man. Like, it all falls, man. May 10th. So hopefully we get to the playoffs. So the season will finish the 22nd. Yeah. I think the playoffs. So fingers crossed, I'm still playing. Normally, you don't want to be in there on your birthday and that. But fingers crossed, we're still in it. But yeah, the 40th. So it all just, you know what the beautiful thing is? I turn 40, I have a 40th birthday, and I have a 40th retirement. I have a retirement party as well. So for me, it's just full circle. But yeah, man, there's a lot of things right now. We're doing the Amazon documentary, which there was meant to be with me today, but we had other things. So I'm doing an Amazon documentary, which will be coming at the beginning of the new season, which just follows me and my two brothers and the transition of what I'm going to go into.
I like that, yeah.
We're sitting down with a couple TV channels to present a couple shows, sitting down with a couple LA producers to be in a couple projects in the States.
What are we talking projects? Are we talking like acting here?
Yeah, acting.
Go on, Bayo.
I know. And the worst thing is I ain't an actor. So, but like you said, one thing is, I actually don't think I want a profession when I finish. I think I've had a profession for 22 years. Yeah. So I actually just want to be able to
float around a bit.
Float around, and then what lands, what don't. And that's just what I want to go in there.
You've given yourself options, though. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, and that's the thing which it's daunting because all we've known is footy. All we've known is, we eat pasta on a Tuesday on a Saturday for pre. That's what we've known.
Being told where to be, when.
Where to be. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing that Friday nights you've got to be in bed. So that ones. And then there's going to be a time where I'm like, yo, shit, I can go out on a Friday. This is, them sort of things where, it's daunting but so exciting. So I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, people know about the WWE. Like, I'm a massive WWE fan. And I'm lucky enough to be able to, have met these individuals. Like Triple H hollered at me, but he's no longer there. I've interviewed The Rock. And like this, I'm doing something with the WWE. We're sitting down. So you know what? For me, it's exciting times. And we'll just see what lands.
No, WWE is class.
So you've got your finishing move ready, haven't you?
Yeah, I put it out. Somebody said the Beast Barge, the Beast Slam. So there was a few things which I saw the Beast Barge where I do a little shimmy, and I move and I just barge man in the shoulder. I was seeing that. I was like, yeah, I can see it.
Mate, do you know what? Our kids love wrestling. Right? We've been quite a few times. Whenever they come over to the country, like worldwide, and we get some nice ticket, and we've met a few wrestlers and stuff like that backstage. And I gotta say, mate, wrestlers were. If footballers could watch wrestlers and learn a thing or two about how you look after the fans and like how you interact with them and stuff like that, because they honestly, mate, they came over. My kids were probably 9 and 10 at the time. Oh, mate, they like whisked them off from us. They were taking them around the other wrestlers, meet him, meet her, fist pump. Oh, it was incredible, mate.
You know what? I actually think that footballers should. I've done a lot with the NFL, so I actually think football's entertainment. Yeah. I genuinely think that. I'm like, listen, it's entertainment. Yeah. And of course, you'll get some dickhead fans, it is what it is. But I think the interaction with fans, like I love, and I kid you not, my favourite away ground is Fratton Park. And to be fair, even Ipswich was recently, and it was. And some people may see it as the abuse, but it was the interaction. It was literally, they started shouting, Akinfenwa, your tits are offside. So, of course, I'm giving it back to them like, you can't do this. And it's literally an entertainment back and forth. And then afterwards, it's, you're taking pictures. And I literally think the interactions between players and fans, because we saw that. We saw when the fans wasn't there, the game weren't
miserable,
the same. It was just,
horrible.
You're like, this shit's tedious. So you can see it. So them wrestlers, but it's entertainment. Like, go and vibe with fans. But what I do think, I do think footballers are changing. So, even like footballers now giving off their tops to fans in the crowd, which is good because you didn't see that before.
Yeah.
And one, I say it to you because I always think when your guys are at the elite, you're more So they're not you're not controlled per se, but you know they're like, oh, don't say this. You've got like a whatever certain officer when they say, oh, look, this is what they're gonna ask you. So I feel like they try and stifle you man's character and that. Do you know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, man, and I see it, like, because there's a lot more youngsters in the game now, and they know their platform's their platform. So now when they're getting interviewed, you're starting to see, oh yeah, man, bruv, we can see you got sauce, because everybody's got sauce, and that's what I'm starting to see more, and that's what I'm liking. That, nah, man, stop allowing them just to put football in front, so therefore you must be different or be treated different. Your individuals is first, man. Man, show them your sauce, and that's what I'm liking. Like, and I think we should be able to take more of other sports. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like that, just showing the human side to yourself. Man. Like, say what you want to say when you want to say
100%. And even like, but what we used to do at the beginning, we had this, like, you know, I'd watch NFL and my man would make one tackle. Like, they're losing 15-1. He'll make one tackle and he'll be skimming and like, I did that. Hey, brother, I went back to train. I was like, hey, the next time you win a header, bruv, you better let them know I won that header. Bruv, we better stiff up a lip over here. Like, oh, you say that, watch when he beats you next time. Oh, but that's the entertainment value where you're like, bruv, do a tackle with high five, you know what I'm saying? And that's when you did your followed your round, pull it in the goal, scored your goal, went now. So just see, for me, that's beautiful. That's the thing where, yeah, man, it's enjoyment. Let them man did a big. And I think one time you made a mistake and you just went, you just chuckled. Like, not like you didn't care. It was just like, shit, man, it's what it is.
People couldn't get over it though. They don't, like, a lot of average fans don't realise that you are just, you know, you're normal blokes and stuff. And I remember when you saved Adam Armstrong's penalty against Blackburn, and you had the GoPro, and he went up to Adam after the game, and he's gone, oh, listen, when you did that, I knew you were going to go this way because of this towel or whatever you did. And people were like, why is he saying that to him? And it's like, he's a young striker. He's helping him out. Do you know what I mean? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Can you imagine, right, on Soccer Sunday or whatever it is, when friggin' it's Man United, Man City, right, and Man U are 6-0 down or something like that, but Cavani's just won a header and put it over the bar, and he's going, that's it.
Just like me, I would be like, do you know what the crazy thing is? Because I've always said this now, as much as but you can't make a meme of me though. Yeah. I'm very, very, like, people want me to go into boxing, and part of me thinking, oh, what, the man knock me out, and I'm like this, and then I'm a meme, like, I was like, oh, because that's what will happen. Cavani would do something, and he would just become a meme. You're like, just shout out, bruv, the internet is undefeated, so you have to be wary of that. But I'm all for those individuals who stand for what they're about. Because literally, if you stand for what you're about, nobody else can get you. And that's the biggest thing, because that's why I keep coming back to that being accepted or being included, because if you feel like you're yearning for that inclusion, they can get you. But once you're cool in your lane, you're like, listen, it doesn't really matter what you say. I'm good.
Can you imagine Roy Keane and friggin' Souness and Gary Neville? Like, I'm sure these Man United players, when they're playing on a Sunday, if they're playing a good team, if they're playing like a Liverpool or a Man City, I guarantee in the back of their head, they are thinking, oh, mate, if we get beat today, I am going to get absolute dog's abuse. It's horrible, isn't it? Guaranteed they're thinking that.
100%. Like, look, again, it's more to come your way because you've been at that level. And listen, I'll always say, whatever team you play for, that's your Wembley. You know what I'm saying? So when I played for Wickham, I remember I made a comment. I was like, oh, yeah, this is... I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, it literally doesn't matter. When I play for Wickham on a Saturday, and that's my Premier League game, that's the shit that means something to me. I was like, somebody trying to devalue it. I was like, what? Bruv, that's me. If I miss a penalty, but I went to him, oh, I think somebody missed a penalty. And I was like, yeah, I know how you feel. And the dude was like, oh, yeah, like you've played. I think it was, and I was like, bruv, wherever I play, that's my Wembley.
Do you know how many people would kill to be in that position where you are right now?
You know what? Even that, like, when people want to chat that chat, those people that you wouldn't take advice for, don't take abuse, don't let it get into your soul. So even then, when they chat shit, like, it is what it is. But for me, coming to you, you've been at the elite. So regardless of what is the elite. So what's that mindset? And has your mindset been the same from when you was at Watford to when you was at Man U?
Nah, it's again, it's this aging. It's an aging Adebayo where I don't think, honestly, right? You know, you said earlier about being comfortable in your own skin. I don't think I was ever really fully comfortable in my own skin with what I was doing, even what I was until probably 30 odd, until like the kids were born, like late 20s or so. And then like I say, once you can start to really like just be happy with who you are.
Yeah.
That's when you ain't got to worry about, like you say, the energy. You spend so much energy about trying to impress them, or that. And I'm just thinking, nah, what's the point? There's no point. I've got kids now. They're the most important thing. So I think once I started having kids, like late 20s, that was it. That was when I was like, nah, do you know what? I'm just going to enjoy being me. And then when I go and play football, it's important and I'll take it seriously. Like you say, every Saturday afternoon is my Wembley. I'll give it everything I've got. But if I make a mistake, it is what it is, mate. It is not the end of the world, mate. Yeah. I will try my best, but you're going to make mistakes. It's the way it goes, isn't it? That's how life works.
Yeah. 100%. I'm with you on that. I can't even get my head around, say you play on a Saturday, you lose, and then you go out, and then people are like, yeah, he don't care. I'll look at you and be like, so what do you want him to do?
I know.
Do you want him to sit in his house and ponder and be depressed and not, what the hell? But that is that entitlement, is it? I just don't get it. Man made a mistake. And those that make mistakes, I kid you not, nobody knows that you made a mistake more than the person that made the mistake.
Of course, yeah.
It's literally, bruv, when I know, I tell the gaffer all the time, bruv, when I don't get hold of it, it's like, B, Mama, no, because I don't need, you know them ones, like, you so know, you're like, oh, shit. Like,
can you imagine though, like, I don't know, I run the business with Ben and stuff, but can you imagine I have a bad day at work and then he goes, don't go out tonight, though.
Yeah.
Don't go out tonight because you made a mistake today, so I don't want to see you enjoying yourself, son.
I think it's the most, I swear to you, that side of it. And again, I have never had it because there's never been eyes on me like that. So I've never had that. And I've always said, listen, I'm an outspoken person and I would speak on it. Like, I'd be like, what? I said, wait, you want me to sit in my ass by myself? Yeah. But if I want to go and let off steam, I'm going to go let off steam. The game's on Saturday. If I don't have a game on Tuesday, I don't have a game on Tuesday. If I'm not in them, I'm going out. Yeah. And still now, even in today's day and age, man, them man will play a game. Foden will go out. Foden's 21 or 22. Be like, yeah, bruv, nah, man, it should go chill in your yard.
Chance,
be like,
mate.
what the hell? Bruv, let the boy go. That, for me, is the biggest baffler for me. And you'll see fans jump on it. Yeah, you see, bruv, he don't really care.
Yeah, they love that.
Oh, shit.
Oh, they love that.
It's a different world. And that, I honestly, because I play football, because I still play football, I honestly think because you put footballer in front of it, it's all of a sudden...
You're not a person anymore. You're not a human being,
You'd be like, nah, man, take the higher road. I'm like, exactly like you said, bruv, if anybody came to your place of work and was giving you abuse to your place of work, you'd be like, yeah, man, just take it. Like, what? You lot are different. Like, it's just, for me, the mentality is different. Like, but yeah, man, it is what it is.
We did a podcast in London a few weeks ago. It was in the studio, and we went for a beer afterwards, didn't we? Like, so it was like a Monday, Tuesday, whatever. Either way, we got a game on Saturday, in the end of the world, right? So we're in the pub. I was waiting at the bar to get a drink or whatever, and a guy's come sort of like next to me, like probably mid-30s, like a builder or something like that, sensible bloke, and he's looked at me and he's gone, "Do Watford know you're out for a beer?" And I was like, oh, mate, don't do that. It's so weird.
You're it's different. Pete,
Watford know you're out from let me just text them.
It was the same. I was in Tesco's. My life, I like bourbon biscuits. I put it out there for the world. Somebody looked in my basket, was like, you shouldn't be eating them. I was like, oh my day. I was like, big man thing, yeah, I swear to you, I will back at you, cuz. Wait, you know that was where you're like, what? Wait, what is wrong with you? For me, I believe that's your society now. You want to be, people just want to be able to talk.
Yeah, it is true. Like, it's true.
Yeah. Them man know you out here. What? Nah, man, I'm having a beer. I'm a grown-ass man as well. But that is it. Society is, you know what I'm saying? I say it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse.
I think I'm with you. I think they, like I say, that guy, at the time, it was so weird and awkward. Like, so I think I said something like, mate, I've got like a wife and kids at home, like, like I'm all right, honestly, Like I've got like 12 and 13.
I'm a big boy, you know.
Yeah. But like you're right there. I think like maybe I made that sound bad, to be fair, because they do just want to talk to you. Like, and that's maybe a bad. Like no, I'll still stay with it. It's so weird.
No, it's not a bad one. That for me
they
is
do
that.
just want to speak to you, don't they?
Yeah,
just say hello.
Hello.
That's an element, right? That's an element, like. Because he's one could have. The person with the bourbon things, for me, they was attacking. Oh, you should be eating them. What do you mean? I'm a grown-ass man, but if I want bourbons, I'm going to eat bourbons. Like, period. Like, so for me, and I get that, like, especially myself, anybody looks for an opening to say hello. And I mean, but as long as The only time I got a problem is, when they want a picture and I'm just about to put chicken in my mouth. That's the one where I'm like, "Bruv, you don't see me about to eat? Oh, say nothing." But other than that, I'm very warm. You can come chat to me. As long as it's not disrespectful, you can come chat to me. It's that entitlement of just because... I mean, you may do it because they see you on social media. They feel like,
they
shit.
own a piece of you.
Yes,
they can say what they want.
Say what they want. I kid you not. One random one was on the train trying to put his hand on my head. On my life, on my life, I swear to you, if it wasn't because the kid was beside, they would have done me for GBH. Mate, on my life, guys.
I don't know if you're brave or stupid. What? Why are you trying to put your hand?
No, but I think to be fair, I do think he was. They were drinking, and it was after a game, so it was all fans. So I've got on a train to go back home, and the train messed up. So anyway, we're all going from different.
But you got football fans on there.
Oh, it's all football fans. It's all football. It wouldn't be random. I was in my Wickham club tracksuit, so I'd just come from a game. So I think at that time, we played Donny. There was Rotherham. It was all different vans and I think he had drinked. And so I'm taking a picture with somebody, and I feel somebody's about to do cuz of my life. Anyway, let's just move on swiftly because, boy, I want to put my hand through his chest.
But I don't think I've ever laughed so much in a podcast in my life. This is incredible, mate. What a guy. Yeah. What a guy.
Have you thought, sorry, mate, have you thought about, is there a way, have you thought about almost like imparting some of this knowledge or your experience onto younger footballers, like when you do finish? Because this goes the same for you. I think you two are better placed than most.
Okay. I get that. And the worst thing is we've been trying to implement this mentoring scheme. So it's a beast mode on mentoring scheme. So the mantra is, defy the limitations people put on you. And the way I sum up my whole ethos is that I don't do things to prove others wrong. I do things to prove myself right. That's my ethos. So that touches on, I don't put my energy on showing you lot. I put the energy into me. And I say this, and as long as we can, and we're working on it to find proof, the mentoring scheme, because I think it's powerful, because both of me and you will know that we didn't have people to talk to. We didn't have people to drum in, "Bruv, you're good in your own skin." We didn't have, I think that, and this is human nature, this is not even just football. I think people put people in boxes because it's easier for them to be able to work out in their brains. So, like football, they said I was too big to play the game, which, if you look at it, I never got to the Prem. So maybe you can say I was too big to get to the Prem, which is fine because I never did it.
You can't be a footballer.
But it doesn't mean I can't be a footballer. So I played the game for 20 years as a footballer. So what their ream was wrong because mine was more stronger because I said I was going to do it. And that's what I want to drum into individuals. Next people, look, bruv, nobody can do Akinfenwa, nobody can do Tom, nobody can do Ben better than you. Yeah. And that's what I would drum into the next individuals. And listen, if 99 people say no, all you need is one. So don't allow that one rejection to derail what your dream is. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's the mentoring scheme. So to touch on to that, we are looking to implement like a mentoring scheme. But at the same time, listen, I'll still be here to be able to talk the talk. I think energy is contagious. So as long as you can put out as more positive than you can negative, because for some reason, negative seems like it swarms more than positivity.
Mate, bad news travels fast. It's not slow, but good news will always go at a snail's pace. It's the way it goes. Life's always been the same, mate.
I do like it though recently. I think the national team we talk about a lot, the flip there with the English national team. The other thing is I do like seeing some of the players now, a lot of what you guys have done in terms of like YouTube, social media. You see players being filmed, engaging with fans and stuff. I saw Connor Cody recently, and the Wolves boys coming off. I mean, Connor Cody, what a guy!
I've got so much time
proper,
for
mate. Proper. He just like
it's genuine. He's not being told to do it.
Exactly.
You can see that he's not being told to do it.
No, it's nice, mate. It's nice. I'm with you. Okay, so Bayo, we got some they're kind of like quickfire questions. They're like you answer them as and how you want to do. All right. Cool. So do you have any guilty pleasures?
Bourbon biscuits.
Hey, you're guilty for that. This fella's told you.
I'll tell you this. Open a pack of them, it gone. What? Yeah, bourbon biscuits.
Yeah, they're elite, aren't they? They're good. Yeah.
Favourite cheat meal? Oh, this is a big question.
Big question.
Favourite cheat meal?
I listened to your death row meal type thing with tubes you did.
Yeah. To be fair, like I wouldn't know if Nando's is a cheat meal per se, because I actually don't think Nando's is too bad.
No, if you play the game on a Saturday and you're going to go somewhere food, boom, Nando's, yeah?
Yeah, be Nando's.
Love
yeah,
that.
Nando's. Yeah, be Nando's.
Who are your idols growing up?
John Barnes.
Nice. Love that. Biggest advice you'll give to your younger self? I think I know the answer to this.
You can do it, man. The best way I'll just say it is continue to don't prove others wrong, prove yourself right.
I love it, mate. Is there still anything left? I don't think in football there's anything left on your bucket list, but for after football, what is on the Akinfenwa bucket list?
Oh, so many things. New experiences and continue to open my eyes. I think that's the greatest one. I think coming off the pandemic, and tomorrow isn't promised. I think man, just to continue to open my eyes, man.
Love this, mate.
Going out on a Friday night before a game
imagine.
with no game.
That's what I mean. How good's that going to be?
But then again, with football, that you can always say, oh no, I don't need to go there to the missus and that. But once that's gone, I need to find something else. So I may have to pretend that I'm working for you, man, and that. So I'm like, yeah, listen, I'm a technician for the podcast and that.
For the
I can't do the family gig together.
So. You need to think of a good one, do you? Well, you're all right. We've got
don't bring me into this, all right? He's in my the Ben Foster podcast, all right?
He is the king of it, I swear.
Bayo, if you were going to have to do a karaoke song, what are you picking?
Aladdin, A Whole New World.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, I love it. Favourite film?
Oh, shit, that's a hard one. I'm probably going to go with, just because I watched it recently, The Godfather.
Yeah, nice. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic. Yeah, it was on the other day. I think I watched a bit of that as well. If you didn't do football, if you weren't a footballer, what would you have been?
I see on Ree's one, it said an amateur footballer. I actually thought that was decent.
Yeah, it's nice, that, isn't it?
That was a good one. But I'd probably say a teacher.
Yeah?
Yeah, or a dance coach. You don't think I'm joking?
I ain't saying anything.
Use the eyes out here. I'm telling you, I could have shut down on the dance floor. I'm a bit stiffer now, though. But I was into that contemporary shit back in the day. Yeah,
step up 8.
I'm telling you.
Coming your way.
Watch. I will eventually do. What's that one they do on? What's the show? Not the dance on ice.
Yeah, Strictly. Strictly, yeah.
Yeah,
Strictly,
man. I'll
yeah.
shut Strictly down, but I have to change the outfits and that.
I'd love to see Bayo
it's a
on
bit
that.
too
That'd be world class.
I don't really do the secrecy shirts and that. Like I just have a fitted t-shirt or something.
Yeah, I love this, mate. Right, favourite holiday destination?
I'm gonna say Miami, Atlanta, and LA.
Heavy.
Yeah.
If you couldn't have done football professionally, but you could have done another sport professionally, what would it have been?
Oh, good question. I think not because I'm any good at it, but I think basketball.
Yeah.
Just because I think I think it's that energy where it's about. Yeah, man. Like you do a dunk.
You can be a showman.
Yeah, man. It's about the sauce.
Yeah,
NFL as well, because that's the same. I told you, like I've been to 3 Super Bowls, and like when they make a tackle, the world knows about it. And when they score a touchdown, oh Lord, entertainment. Yeah, I know. I just dropped that in nice nuggets out here. So I would say NFL or basketball.
Have you got any phobias? Anything you're scared of, like proper scared of?
Yeah, man, I don't like rodents and them things there.
Rats and that, mice.
Yeah,
I'm with
and
you.
they try to get me on that celebrity thing, and I wouldn't roll on it because
you need to go do that, mate.
Brother, I kid you not. Like I've got a wrapped up hole. I could cry. I ain't gonna lie to no, but what? That's.
So you could eat like kangaroo balls, nuts,
No, it's not.
Still
I can't do
that
shit. Like, but look, if I had to, like, because I hear they only give you rice and that.
Yeah.
But when I'm hungry, I'm hungry. I'll tell you this. Don't play with me when I'm hungry. I'm not a nice guy. So if I had to get like a meal, I could. But being like, and I'm pretty claustrophobic, but I'm not.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? So I just don't like to be restricted. So if I was restricted and then a mouse was on my head or a rat, I'm crying, cuz.
I don't think celebrities for you, mate.
Yeah, you're taking
Get me out of here.
Strictly.
Strictly. If you had a documentary about yourself, which you have got, and you had to have somebody act it, who would you pick to be the actor to play you?
Good one. I think like it'd be a good-looking brother like Tyrese. I think. I think me and Tyrese. So
there you go.
Why you laughing so hard? We just sound like Tyrese.
Well, I've got a funny story. I've got a funny story about Tyrese. Right. So we it was a couple of years ago. Right. We were staying in the Grove in London. Right. Me and the missus and the kids and blah blah blah. And this bloke come walking in. Right. And I've looked. It's Tyrese.
What?
I swear on my life, right? Tyrese, they were filming it, you know, like, because what's it called? Studios are right next to it.
Oh, Elmere?
Yeah. So they've got the filming studios, right? Yeah, Elstree. And I was like, my God, that's Tyrese. Like, my missus loves Tyrese. She loves Tyrese. Like, so I've gone, Tyrese. Tyrese has put a bit of weight on, yeah.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Tyrese was heavy. Tyrese was a big Tyrese,
really?
Right? Yeah. He looked a bit overweight, a bit. Yeah, he was having a nice time, right? So anyway, I've gone, it's Tyrese. Mrs. look, nah, she's heartbroken. She was heartbroken. Tyrese was a big one at the time.
It's all right because she saw Chris Hemsworth recently after at the Grove, didn't she?
He was looking.
Wow, man, you stay at the Grove all the time. Is that where all the people stay at the Grove?
No, when we have like a home game, we stay at the Grove. That's where we stay. So like then we're allowed to keep our room as well. So sometimes like the missus will come down, all that kind of stuff.
Nah, he's got the East Wing booked out.
I say nothing, though. Yeah.
Right, mate, we're getting there. This is absolutely incredible, Bayo. What a guy. What an absolute frigging legend. What has been the best moment in your football career so far?
Making it as a professional.
Just that simple.
Literally, everything else has been a bonus.
Living the dream.
But yeah, man, I keep saying, and it goes back to life. When you can put something in your mind that you want to do and you achieve it, nothing else comes close.
Yeah,
then everything
nice.
After that is a bonus.
Yeah.
So the best moment was that time I signed professional and I said, you know what, mums, thanks for backing me. Brother, thanks for backing me. Sister, thank you for backing me. Listen, we did it. And that was it. And then everything else, of course, from there, it's been dope. But the first thing was making it.
I still love that. Every Saturday afternoon is my Wembley. I'm going to use that, mate. That's world class. Honestly, that's brilliant. Lowest moment of your career so far? I should have asked this one first because the first question was so good.
Lowest moment. You know what? I would say breaking my leg was my lowest moment. I broke my leg and didn't have a club, and then I had my daughter, and so it was all of a sudden I was responsible for somebody else at a time when not everything was just carefree, but shit, I didn't earn. It was what it was. But I had my daughter and I wasn't affiliated with anybody. So my lowest moment was like, yo, and it's funny because some people would be like, I'm injured. I need to get back to play football. My mentality was, I need to get back to earn. So the football side of it was just, I was good at football. So it was, I need to get back to earn, not to get back because I love the game. I love the game, but my drive was different. So my lowest moment was probably that. But at the same time, I'd spent time with her as a kid, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't have a game on Saturday. It was cool looking in her eyes, holding her, laying on my chest and that. But then at the same time thinking, but shit, I'm not earning. So I can't keep doing this. So it was a blessing and a curse. It was a catch-22. But the lowest was probably
that's a good answer, mate. I like it. What's been the funniest moment in your career so far?
It probably has to be the interview I gave after
promotion.
After promotion, but not the Wickham one.
Yeah?
It wasn't that one. That one was funny, but it was the one when it was like, and it was just off the sketch when I said I was technically unemployed. I was like, yo, man, I'm technically unemployed, so anybody that needs a striker, I'll beg. Hit me up, I need to earn. Hit me up on WhatsApp. Yeah. So for me, and again, anybody that knows me, I am a moment kind of guy. So wherever I'm in the moment
you're gonna get gold.
You're just gonna. I'm just that. You know what I'm saying? And then afterwards, I look back and think, oh snap, I was in it.
Nah, that's nice, mate. You can see the emotion, raw emotion, mate. It's nice, isn't it?
You know what?
It's nice.
That's how I am, and I try not to. I always say, listen, if you kick it with me or you meet me, as long as you get my real energy and it's authentic, I never want to be plastic. I never want to feel like I'm faking it. You know what I'm saying? Even though sometimes you got to do the fake smile.
You got to play the game and stuff.
Like,
Yeah.
You know what it was? But on the whole, I always want to feel as fake as fuck. But probably the funniest moment would have been the AFC one.
Who is the toughest player you've ever played against?
Oh, so two, probably Wes Morgan was tough for Forest, and then defender named Guy Branston.
Yeah, Guy was me.
Massive head.
He was horrible.
His head was the biggest. Guy, listen, I see him, I chat to him on social media. I always say this, and one thing I love that.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're about it, I say I'm about it, you say I'm about
Let's have it.
Let's have it. I love that, and he was that. He was... and the biggest education he gave me, it was him. I was at Torquay, he was at Sheffield Wednesday, I want to say, or Hull. And I remember, And remember, let me just, I'll tell this story. So remember, I'm from London. So London, you know, I say Metropolitan, Dawston, you know, let's say, I'm not saying I'm a bad man, but I was around bad man, innit? So nobody's ever chatted to me like this. So when he was playing the game, so the ball's coming up, he went to mark me, and he was like, you know, can I swear like that, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I say nothing. He was like, fucking hell, you're fat. I looked at him like, what? Then he stepped in front and headed the ball. So I was thinking, in mind, I'm thinking, who's this you? So anyway, so it went. And then he was like, ball come up again. He's grabbed me. He's gone, yeah, I know you're going to be working at McDonald's. I'm like, who the headed the ball. Bruv, he stepped and headed the ball again. I'm thinking, bruv, on my life, I'm thinking, who is this dude? So I was like, who the are you talking to? Bruv, and when I'm talking back to him, he's not paying attention. Literally, he's just like, so then again, after he says, grab me again, I think the last one, he was like, me, you can't run. I was like, hey, bruv, headed the ball, did that the whole game. Took my whole equilibrium. Fucked it up. Then after the game, so I'm in my head, I'm thinking, oh, all right, bruv, we are scrapping. So I'm getting myself up, like, because he's not small, but I'm like, yo, I'm going to not. After the game, on my live, he's like, big man, great game. All the best for the season. Blessings. Bruv, talk to me like we're the best friends. Listen, hey, you've got something, yeah? All the best for the season. Bopped off. So I'm here.
You don't know what to do now.
I swear, I was at 23 when I was at. So I've never experienced this. Like, I've either experienced a straight dickhead and we're going to scrap, but he was just mind-fucking me. It was the first time. So I was like, what in my life? I was like, what the f***? Just like, beat us 4-1. Didn't lay a glove on nothing. So then the following season, I was like, he was at Oldham, I was at Swansea. So it was like, I see his name. I was like, I'm telling you, I'm shutting this brother down. So he's gone, literally came up to me, he was like, oh, I've seen you lost a little bit of weight. Didn't pay attention, pinned him, spun him. Like, we moved him, like we beat him 2-0. I was on job. Afterwards, he was like, you learn. I was like, I say nothing. I was like, all the best to you. It was wicked. I swear to you. So ever since then, it was like, we would do that back. So I know, so it would be that. So he'll still be saying shit to me like, oh, you're fat. Like, your head's massive. And we'll go back and that sort of thing. But I'll always put him out. I'll always put him up. He was my first education about getting into an opponent's mind. But he was tough. Head, game.
And that's experience as well. Experience,
proper. It was, for me, I salute him for that because I learned that early on through that. Because I'm still, you know, not saying that I'm bravado, but nobody really steps to me and nobody really talks to me in that way. He was probably the only one like that. To be fair, Mooney spoke to me like that as well.
Tommy Mooney.
Yeah, he was at Warsaw. He gave me a little something. I said, shut up, man. He's like, no, you ever heard of a salad? Shut up, you. Yeah, so that was, but by that time I learned. So, but like I said, when I'm not in a football game, talking like that, that's straight fight. You talk to man like that in the end.
Straight anyway.
We're going to scrap. So that was my mentality. Like, brother, you disrespect you. And then it's
and he just nips in.
It's above. I swear to you, it was the first. He was like, me, you're fat. I went, what? Just bang. And then he just ran up the pitch. And I'm thinking, in my head, I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? So I was like, all right, watch. Then the same. He's like, me, bruv, there's a McDonald's. I know you're guy. I was like, what? Bang! And he wrapped me up, totally wrapped me up that game. And then, but learn. And ever since then, so him and Wes Morgan were probably my toughest.
Oh, Bayo, you're a genius, mate. This is incredible, mate. Best goal you scored?
To be fair, I won goal of the month, December for Wickham.
Outside of the box?
Outside the box.
I saw it, mate.
First goal outside the box.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that. But then I did score a goal for Wimbledon. That was just inside the box, but I pinned the dude nasty, give him the arm. Bruv, I swear he's still got it now, and then put it top bins. That was probably that one. If you see him, bruv, for him, it was like an earthquake hit him, shaking and that. So probably that one, but I won goal of the month recently, so yeah.
Oh, God, mate. Right, we're nearly there, mate. We've got a few more. What is the most hostile ground to play at?
What was the most hostile for me? To be fair, let me think. Where have I played that they give man abuse? They give me abuse everywhere I go.
Yeah, you got to be the target. You are the main target, surely.
Literally everywhere I go, I get it. But most of them is bless. Nothing really comes to mind. Maybe I'll say Aki, maybe Accrington, maybe Accrington. But I'm just saying that because it just comes to mind. But it's probably not. To be fair, most of them are the same. Most of them give me the stick, and then until you kind of just handle it in a way like, you lot ain't getting me, then they turn it to banter sort of thing. So I don't really, if we're going back, to be fair, it would have been Vilnius. When I played in Lithuania, we played Vilnius away, and that was hostile as f***. And that was the racial. That was when the racial shit was just at its all-time high. I've spoke about that. Flipping out. It was.
Were you the only black player on the team at that time?
Only black person in the league.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, only black person in the league. And listen, I've told this story before. It was, and it's a shame because that was over 20 years ago, almost 22 years ago. So I signed when I was 18. And I told the story. My first game, was playing, and in pre-seasons you don't play in the stadium, you play like the local team. So you're around, everybody's around. You
can hear most of the voices.
Yeah, so it was standing. So as soon as we kicked off, it was the monkey chants. And in my head I was thinking, nah, man, I've got that wrong, man. It's not that. So anyway, the ball went off for me. Then the monkey chants again. I was like, whoa. What? And then all of a sudden it then was like zigga, zigga, zigga. No. Shoot the N-word. Wow. So I was like, what? And then when you start to clock, half was my fans, half were the away fans. I was like, raw. I went in at half time and my club captain, he was the only one that spoke English. I was like, yo, but what does zigga mean? He was like, zigga, they only use zigga to rhyme with the N-word. So I was like, oh shit. So anyway, cut long story short, I came off beginning of the second half, got a big roar, said, listen, I'm coming out of this. I'm leaving this. And I remember phoning my brother and I was like, yo, bro, I'm leaving. Like, he's like, what happened? I goes, wow, man, they did this, they did that. And I remember this. He said this to me. He's like, look, B, I won't tell you to stay anywhere that you don't want to stay, but if you leave, they win. Yeah. And I remember thinking at the time, I was like, fuck it still, man, they've won, I'm going. But I remember going to sleep, waking up the next morning and thinking, nah, man, like, ain't nobody running me out of anywhere. And then we won the equivalent to what the FA Cup was there, and it was the first cup in 11 years. I scored the winner. When I say you're a product of your environment, so now when I go and they 15,000 are sitting yakking for me, your tits are offside, I dealt with people saying they wanted to shoot me because of the colour at 18.
At 18.
So it probably was Vilnius. Vilnius was probably the most hostile out of that. It was Vilnius, Ikranus, and I can't remember the other one. There was 3 other ones, but probably Vilnius was probably the most hostile.
Mate, to come out at 18, mate, fair dues to you. Fair dues, mate.
What don't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly. Favourite away ground to play in?
Fratton Park.
Yeah,
Fratton Park. We played there Saturday just gone. They're the ones who started the Akinfenwa, your tits were just offside.
It's good that, to be fair.
You know the funny thing is, it was like, I remember they started and I was on the bench. And I came on, and I kid you not, it was a free kick. I come on, and the first thing I was offside, and it was slightly. So they just it was his tits that were offside, and it just made me laugh that my first protocol that I was offside from that. But they did it, and they said it weren't no malice. Well, I didn't take it with no malice anyway. So to be fair, that's probably my favourite away ground.
I love it, mate. Right, last 2 questions. Best player you've played with in your career?
Lee Trundle.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, hands down.
People don't speak about Lee Trundle anymore. Unbelievable. People don't mention him.
I was watching a highlight reel of him.
Mate, he was a baller, by the way. He was beautiful.
If he was around now with social media, it would have been a wrap. Yeah. It was Soccer AM was
every week.
That was him.
Showboat, wasn't it?
Every week. Showboat was him. So let alone YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat. For me, there was I learned so much from Truns. Like Truns was the modern day. Whenever he went, crowds were on him, and players wanted to kick him. And he was differently built, and he handled it all. Yeah. So Truns, man. Truns was 2 people used to double up on Truns, so that means left me one-on-one with a dude to back pole. Yeah. Oh, it was a dream for me. Thanks, Truns. I was like, thanks, Truns. It was good. It was beautiful to see Truns.
Mate, that's it. Honestly, that's it. That's absolutely. That was incredible. Like
so much fun.
Adebayo, Akinfenwa. Honestly, mate.
Man. It was a pleasure, man.
I knew this was going to be good, right? Honestly, I knew this was going to be good. But mate, I have not stopped smiling or laughing all the way through this. That was incredible.
It was dope.
What a guy! I cannot wait to see. Cannot wait to see what you do after football. But I guarantee you will smash it.
Thank you, my brother.
Because you are an absolute legend of a bloke, isn't he?
Mate, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is mine, man. Thank you, fellas.
Right, Bayo, we always finish every podcast. If you do not mind looking in that camera there, we always say, up the Fozcast.
Up the Fozcast.
Up the Fozcast.
Nice, Bayo. What a guy.
Blessings.
Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed the latest episode of the Fozcast. Don't forget to give us a follow on Spotify. Up the Fozcast.